لكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. May Allah accept our salah. Allahumma ameen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us His mercy and make us amongst those people that Allah forgive their sins in the month of Sha'ban. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Actually, I just wanted to welcome Dr. Zaki by coming back. Alhamdulillah. May Allah give him safety and good health. And also, I want to, we are missing Dr. Rahim today. I don't know, inshallah, be safe and be okay. Also, Brother Hamza and Sister Maina, inshallah, may Allah bring them back safely to our community. Allahumma ameen. Auntie Maryam, alhamdulillah, she's online on Zoom. So alhamdulillah, she is okay. And inshallah, Allah bring her back and grant her all the goodness in the dunya and in the hereafter. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And actually, this is our last lecture that we would have in that episode about the main theme of the entire chapters in the Quran. And maybe Auntie Maryam might remind me of the day that we started the lecture, because I forgot the day. And I think something was in 2021, I think in March, maybe something like this. So subhanallah Rabbil Alameen, we started this episode since 2021, when we are talking about the main theme of each and every chapter in the Quran, starting Al-Fatiha, Al-Baqarah, Al-Imran, till we have reached to chapter number 40. So that's a big project. And one of my du'as that I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant me the time, the ability, the health, the life, that I could continue and have all the 114 chapters together, inshallah. And that's one of my dreams, that I wanted to finish that project. So anyone, that would be like a good collection for the entire Quran. I call it like that's the project of life project. So this is one of the life's projects. You get the honor to give the tafsir of the entire Quran. So anyone can go back to the lectures on YouTube anytime. And one of the things that I have written in my will, in my wasiyah to my wife and to my kids, I said to them, whatever khutbahs, whatever lecture, put that as sadaqah and try to spread it as much as you can after my death. That's all what I need for these words to remain and people will benefit from. So alhamdulillah, we have reached to chapter number 40, which is Surah Ghafir. And inshallah, we will stop here and we will continue, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen, afterwards. We will continue after Ramadan, inshallah. So Auntie Maryam mentioned that the date, exact date, February 1st, 2021. So the beginning of February 2021, we started this episode, and alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. May Allah continue His blessings upon all of us. Allahumma ameen. This lecture number 6 in Surah Ghafir, chapter number 40. And now, as you saw yesterday, the pattern, how Allah talked about the people of Fir'aun and how Allah described the weakers. That's with our expressions, the followers of the oppressors. Brother Jihad, what did we say yesterday about the followers? Are they criminals or victims? Criminals, right? And why is that? They followed, they didn't even come against, right? And they surrendered to that. And do you remember the story of Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal when he was in jail? The one who was whipping him out, the one who was putting the lashes. So what was the question, Brother Muhammad Khan? What was the question that the man said? Yes, and he said, forgive me because, and he said, am I one of the followers of the oppressors? So what did he say? He said, no, you are the oppressors. Alhamdulillah ya Rabbil Alamin. And now I want to explain to you how Allah ended that surah for you to picture this in your mind. And inshallah, one of the sessions that we are going to give in Ramadan, we will, before we recite the juz in Taraweeh, I'm going to give a quick explanation for what we are going to recite, so people would know what we are, reciting, inshallah Rabbil Alamin. So one of the things that you need to understand about how Allah ended that surah, Allah highlighted the issue of monotheism. And that's what we are as Muslims. Like if somebody pointed at you and said like this, so you will understand, you will realize that he is Muslim. If you saw somebody doing like this, so he is a Muslim. If he said like this, he is a Muslim. If he said La ilaha illallah, if he said the word one God, so that means he believes in the same concept of all the prophets and the messengers of Allah. And some people might think, you know what? It's not a big issue. It's all about what is in my heart. No, it's a big issue. It's a big deal. To check always the level of the decree, the creed, the doctrine, the iman, the monotheism, the belief inside your heart. And not only this, you need to check, examine, scan, and be sure that it didn't get any impurity. Imam, what do you mean? Let me give you an example. Somebody find a stone while he was in clear water, whatever. But that was something like nice stone, like not of course diamond, okay, like something, and he put it in his pocket. And once he put it in his pocket, he got a call, you won $1 million. So what he thinks about the stone, it brought luck to him, right? So he will take that stone whenever he goes. Wherever he goes, he will keep that. He will believe. So the next day, if he lost the stone, what he feels? What will he feel? Yeah, he will feel insecure. He will feel the bad omen. He will get that sense of, you know what? It's a bad day. And I like that strategy. One of the life coaches, he's a non-Muslim, by the way. And he asked that question that I like. He said, because I study psychology, and I like to hear lots of the life coaches, those who are talking with psychology. So he said to his followers, what if I give you $1 million? So what do you feel? They said, we will feel happy. He said, is there anyone could bother you the rest of your day and you have the $1 million? He said, nothing can bother me. He said, what if I made it $10 million? They said, okay, we will be even more happier. We will jump out of happiness. He said, okay, what if I told you that you will take the $10 million, but you will not wake up tomorrow? You will die tomorrow. So what do you say? You keep it? Yes. So you cannot take it, right? I don't want it. He said that means waking up every day, it's worth more than $10 million. So why we don't feel it that way? And he said that's how some people might wake up one day and say, it's a bad day and bad, like they believe in the bad omen. They feel bad. Oh, and they are bothered by lots of stuff. Imagine that you have 100 items on your list. You own them: health, happiness, house, safety, security, good wife, good children, and nice weather, good health, nice car, nice bicycle, good TV. You have this, you have family members, you have relatives, you have, we can count up to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. It doesn't matter. But we are missing 2, 3 items. So you know what? 2, 3 items. So we disregard the 100 good items and we just look at the 3 items that we are missing. Oh, I wish if I had this. I wish if, look at your plate. You already have a lot on your plate. You have too much, mashallah. Think about, did you thank Allah for what you already have? And some people are keep thinking and overwhelmed to the point that they miss the enjoyment of what they have already. They miss to enjoy that. Now you have children. Now you have this, you have that. Enjoy first with what you have. You didn't use it. And subhanallah, some people have that kind, like one of the brothers said one day, my wife have 32 shoes and she didn't use them. And always what she gets from Amazon and she throws them with their boxes without even opening them and throw this in the garage. And that's it, 32. And whenever she finds something, she gets more. It has sale on it, clearance. You know that? So, subhanallah, lots of people are not pleased with what they have. That's the problem. So if you wanted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's one of the points of the monotheism. You might say, what's the relationship? Because if you really believe in Allah and you achieved the conditions of monotheism, you will be pleased with his destiny. Brother Ahsan could tell me, we have 6 pillars of Iman, right? 6 pillars. Can you count? To believe in Allah and the angels, the messengers, the books, the destiny. And last one, the day of judgment. Okay? And to believe in the destiny of Allah, whether it's good or bad, we say alhamdulillah, whatever Allah destined. That's why, you know what? And one of, subhanallah, one of the problems also that some people might have, that's why I'm telling you, you have always to scan, to check your monotheism level. Are you really believing in Allah? Like, okay, let me give you an example. Someone says, I believe in Allah. And he's pointing with Tawheed. But when the adhan is made and the call for work is made, he surrenders and submits to the call of work, not the call of Allah. You got it now? So how come you say, I believe in Allah? The complete belief in Allah. That's why people will be different on the day of judgment based on what? How much of the monotheism that they had achieved. And that's actually the end of Surah Ghafir. Allah is highlighting that issue, the monotheism. Imagine someone who has his boss, his manager at work. And you know those people who acts like munafiqeen, the hypocrites? So whatever his manager is saying, it is right. You know that? Like whatever you say is right. No, I cannot disagree with him. Why? Because he might kick me out. And then what? Oh, Imam, my rizq. Is your rizq upon that manager? No. Your rizq is upon Allah, the one who created you and your manager. So if you had kind of hesitation in this, doubting in this, that means the level of Iman and believing in Allah, you have a problem in it. So yes, it's shaking. That's why Surah Ghafir at the end, Allah is telling those people that would be judged on the day of judgment, how much you had in your Iman. Did you use to check your Iman? You always need to check that. And you need to see, to ask yourself, what if something happened, would I be pleased with Allah? You know, Surah Al-Fajr. That's one of the problems nowadays that people don't pay attention to. Surah Al-Fajr is highlighting that issue too. You know, some people think if Allah gave Brother Rashid, for example, if he gave him money, if he give him house, if he give him a car, that means Allah loves him. And if Allah did not give Brother Abdul Basit, for example, that means Allah is angry at him. And that's how people look now. If you told him, I got something, I got a new position, I got a new job, I got lots of money, they think he just got this because it's a sign of Allah's love. We need only to change one word. It's a sign of Allah's test. Imam, could Allah test by giving? Yes. So Allah could test by both giving and taking. Allah could test. So Allah said in the Surah Al-Anbiya, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً. Both of them, evil and the goodness, both of them can work as fitna, as a trial. So it's not only the calamity. It's not only when you get sick. It's not only when you lose a beloved person. It's not only when you do something wrong. No. Or when you get an accident or something. No, it's all about when Allah is giving. Subhanahu wa ta'ala could be a test. Allah will see when He gave you. Did you give to others? Did you give to the poor and needy? Did you take care of the orphans? When Allah gave you, did you become an arrogant? Did you see yourself have advantage? You became bitter than people? You started to look down because I am, and those are second-class people. You know, we have people, they have these kinds of diseases. Wallahi. They think somehow, I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, okay, you feel arrogant with what? A position, you will lose it. A money, you will die and leave it. A health, you are going to get old and you will have body aching and all of this. What else? With your memory, you are going to get old and lose your memory. Your muscles, you will be weaker and weaker afterwards. So why do you feel arrogant? With what? Some people, they might think, you know, because of my status, my certificate, my grade, my position, I am bitter than. No. I told you before, maybe a person, and I like that statement in that regard. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You know, this hadith always, when you hear it, it humbles you down. Wallahi. He said, رُبَّ أَشْعَث أَغْبَرْ ذُو طَمَرَيْنِ مَدْفُوعٌ بِالْأَبْوَابِ لَوْ أَقْسَمَ عَلَى اللَّهِ لَأَبَرَّ. He said, you might have a person who is poor, shaggy, who is disheveled. No one had like any interest in him. If he is about to propose for somebody for marriage, people would reject. If people wouldn't listen to him. So nobody in the community cares about his presence at all. Poor, shaggy, disheveled, and nobody is paying attention to him. But listen to the surprise. لو أقسم على الله لأبره. If he were to make a dua, Allah will immediately accept his dua. Based on what? Can you tell me? Based on what? Money? Power? Status? Good looking? No. Yes, that's the heart. Based on his iman. That's why I'm telling you, it's so important every day to check your iman. And I have the pure monotheism to Allah. Like one of the messages that I got today from one of the brothers, may Allah bless him, bless his entire family. He used to live in Newport Richey and he moved to another place. So he said, Imam, I want to, because he went to a little bit of discussion, argument with a non-Muslim, and he said, I want an answer why Allah or why God cannot have a son. Why? So I said, yes, I give him long answer, but one of the points I said, because it contradicts with the idea of the monotheism. Why? Monotheism means Allah knows everything, right? Monotheism means that Allahu Samad. What is a Samad? Qul huwa Allahu Ahad. Allahu, what is Samad? Self-sufficient. He doesn't need anyone. So can you tell me why he created a son? Why he should have a son? You would say because. Once you say because, that means he wanted something, he couldn't make it, and his son has to make it. So that's against the monotheism. That means he's not God. Because he needs something. He needs some help. And he needs someone to represent him. He needs someone to talk on behalf of him. He needs of something. One of the principles, one of the pillars of the word monotheism, that he is self-sufficient. He doesn't need anything from anyone. And he is away from any deficiency. This is Allah. So the concept of having a son, it contradicts. So if you are a Muslim and you see having a son, okay, yes, I don't believe in it, but I have no problem. You see that? You see how people try to hold the stick from the middle? They don't have the clear aqidah. That's why a big difference between tolerance, mercy, peace, love, and the aqidah. Aqidah is something different. Can you tell me how much Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved his uncle Abu Talib? He loved him so much, right? He loved him so much. That's his uncle. But did Abu Talib came to Islam? No. So what happened? He wanted to make istighfar for him. But he knows that does not work. That does not work. Why Imam? Because this is aqidah. This is iman. So you cannot, okay, somebody talked to you and you wanted to show him how Islam is so good. Yes, but for that purpose, you give him wrong fatwa against your aqidah, just to please people, to make them happy. And you say, you know what, just Imam, we want to tell them that how Islam is so beautiful. Not the price will be your aqidah. And that what makes us Muslims. And you know what? Lots of people would respect that we stand for something. We have our ethics, our values. One of the non-Muslims that I have heard to him, he was giving a lecture and he said, you know why I'm loving Muslims? Because they are people you cannot mess around with them. You cannot mess with them. You cannot say something wrong or humiliate or insult their religion or their prophet, and they would accept this. Because they are the people who are standing for the ethics, principles. If you are going to tolerate everything, So that means you stand for nothing. And if you stand for nothing, that means you have no religion at all. That's so important. So Surah Ghafir, that's a good ending for the surah to remind each and every one, all of us, that every time you need to check your aqidah, your iman, your level of iman, your level of tawheed, how strong your aqidah is. And by the way, aqidah, you cannot say, oh, because I am a moderate Muslim, that means I hold the stick from the middle and I see no problem of, leaving or abandoning some of my aqidah. No, the middle course for the aqidah, not to be extreme and not to abandon your ethics. You need that middle course. But that middle course, some people think middle course means that I will be like negotiating and putting my deen at risk. No, middle course, that means you are following Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because we don't want extremism. We don't want this. We don't want to see everything, okay, everything is halal, no problem. All people will be okay. You know what? I have no problem. Somebody has a ta'weez. You know that ta'weez, that little one. So I remember last year, one of the sisters came and she said, I wanted you urgently, Imam, what happened? Then I said, what happened? She said, I was back home and there was a sheikh. They call him sheikh and he's not sheikh at all. They call him sheikh. He made a ta'weez for me. And that ta'weez made my husband always good with me. And once I lost this ta'weez, you know what? Now he changed completely. So I said, what? So what? She said, I wanted you, since you are Imam and Sheikh, I wanted you to make ta'weez for me. And whatever money, I will give it to you. I said, astaghfirullah. That's haram. That's haram. You have the book of Allah. Make dua. And she left and she was angry at me because I didn't give her ta'weez. I said, no way. You better take your take the flight and go back home. Ask for that one called Sheikh, because that's haram. That's shirk. That's shirk. So may Allah guide us to the right path. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let us all enter Jannatul Firdaus. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Well-known song, you have got to stand for something or you will fall for anything. Yes, that's great. Yes, Auntie Maryam, mashallah. May Allah bless you. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And mashallah, I can see, mashallah, on Zoom we have brothers and sisters, mashallah. We have people from Canada, actually, mashallah. We have people from New York, brother Zaf Zabar, mashallah. May Allah bless you, brother, and keep your family safe. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And see you in a good health, in a good shape. We have brothers and sisters from New York, mashallah. Have Auntie Maryam, brother Nasheed, brother Ahmed Aly, sister Nasreen from Atlanta, sister Shalizuddin, Dean Ibrahim, Rahima Bax, brother Imtiaz Khan from Orlando, brother Muhammad Nasruddin, sister Azima from Orlando, sister Ruby Alam, mashallah, tabarakallah. We see our community and even beyond the community, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, wonderful people. Jazakumullah khairan. That was the last lecture in this episode before we move to Ramadan, inshallah. See you, inshallah, with this episode. If Allah give us life, give us time, give us health to continue after Ramadan, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.